Lesson 4 of Media and Information Literacy. Different types of print media and media convergence. Have you ever wondered how printing was made in the early days? The printing technology is a milestone in documentation, and we should all be thankful to this man. This is Johannes Gutenberg. He conceptualized of a way of duplicating documents through the use of a press machine, using metal molds with engraved letters on it. From crude drawings on large stones to handwritten books using quill and papers to mass production using the Gutenberg printing press, and now using printers from dot matrix to inkjet printers. The printing process has had a long journey to become what it is today. Now let's take a trip at the library.
The library is open! Because reading is what? Fundamental! There you have it, darling.
No, not that library.
The most famous area is the long room. This 213-foot room houses 200,000 of the library's oldest books. The room is lined with marble busts, many of great philosophers, writers, and people who supported the college.
We have our beautiful high ceilings, Latin inscriptions. It's very atmospheric. It's very Harvard. It's a very popular place.
The Library of Congress is the largest library in the world.
Located in Washington, D.C., this collection of over 160 million items is a vast archive of the history.
Although digital printers are being used these days to mass-produce books, the framework of producing them is always the same. Gutenberg has allowed us to keep records and our history written on paper, and among our other types of print media as well. A book is a reading material that is usually classified according to two main categories, fictional and non-fictional. Dictionary is a reference material used to find a word's meaning, pronunciation, etymology, and how to use it in a sentence. But have you ever wondered about who Merriam or Webster is from the famous dictionary we often use? This is Noah Webster, an American lexicographer who is most known for his American Dictionary of the English Language. After Webster's death, Charles and George Merriam owned publishing rights for the dictionary with additional portions. Have you ever used an almanac like this one?
People continue to buy it for the forecast. 5, 6, 7, 8 months, they want to know those 3 days spreads of when they have a chance of rain, snow, or ice. I can tell you as a meteorologist, we struggle with 5 even to 7 days out.
The very first almanac to have immediate success was the Old Farmer's in 1792. An almanac, it also contains detailed information about topics of special interests like countries around the world. It also highlights statistical, tabular, and general data.
Yes, that's the date it was printed.
Do you know why atlases are called atlases?
No.
Way back in the day, one of the guys who wrote one of the first great books of maps and everything, he put the god Atlas on the front.
The word Atlas is derived from Greek mythology. Atlas is a titan who revolted against the gods. As punishment, Atlas has to carry the world on his shoulders. Atlas is a collection of maps showing geographic features, political boundaries, and used for navigation, including climatic, social, and economic statistics of a specific area.
Was this thing in a flood or something?
I'm assuming it traveled around the world, so it probably got a little weathered during that
I didn't get
process.
weathered, it got wet.
Yeah.
There are many types of books depending on its purpose, printing material used, and content. So next time you'll look for one, you'll know what it is, and a bit of information about it. Types of print media. Let's take a trip at the famous New York Times production house, where the known newspapers is produced.
For example, most nights. If they're on time, we get 100%. If a couple are late, it decrements from there. We're measured every morning on how our arrival times are.
First, a digital copy of the newspaper is sent to the printing plant. This paper is the final version that the editors, writers, and copy editors sign off on to be printed. From there, each page of the newspaper is digitally transferred to a plate using a laser machine. A plate is a sheet of aluminum that contains the image of a newspaper page on it. Each plate is equivalent to a single page of the newspaper. The plates are made in a room with special yellow lighting that helps protect the plate's muted image from exposure. This is what will eventually transfer to paper, but we'll get to more of that later. Plates that are ready to go to printing are stored in groupings based on the section they'll be in the actual newspaper.
This is the Sunday arts, or drama as we call it in our world.
This helps keep the plates organized and lets everyone know where each plate belongs.
There are so many types of print media nowadays, depending on your needs and interests. Let's first start with the newspaper. Newspapers have two types, broadsheets and tabloids. Broadsheets are more serious and written in formal language. They are also usually longer in print. Tabloids, on the other hand, uses street slang or short language, with an informal approach to writing to trigger readers' emotion. They sometimes tend to be humorous as well. Magazines. A magazine is also a periodical publication released weekly, monthly or quarterly. In a study conducted by NBDBR in 2017, there are about 47.7% magazine readers in the Philippines, both in print and digital. Journals. Similar to a newspaper, a journal contains informative articles and provides accurate reports on specific topics, such as medicine. It can also be compared to a magazine as it targets a particular type of audience. For example, a medical journal is intended for medicine students or medical practitioners. Gazette. A gazette pertains to the official publication of a government institution or organization, which is intended for public notices or listing appointments. In the Philippines, the official gazette is created in 1902 and aims to contain all legislative acts and resolutions, of a public nature of the insular legislature. The official gazette is still being published today. Other types of print media includes brochures. Are small books or magazines that contains graphics about products or services offered a company. Leaflet or flyer. A leaflet and a flyer refers to a printed sheet of paper, which contains information about a product for advertising purposes. Pamphlet. A pamphlet may be a small booklet, a leaflet, or a primer. It contains detailed yet easy to understand graphics, usually released by organizations or companies to inform their target audience regarding special topics or issues. Broadcast and transmission media. Broadcast media consists of programs produced by television networks and radio stations. In contrast to print media, broadcast media airs multimedia content through radio frequencies. Radio, film, and television are the three major forms of broadcast media. Let's first start with the radio. This is Guglielmo Marconi. In 1895, using radio waves, he was able to transmit Morse code using the instrument he made, with the use of a small device called the transistor. The flow of electricity in radios and other types of broadcast media can be in control. Television. The television is one of the most usual appliances at home. Equipped with an electronic system capable of sending images and sounds by a wire or through space. This is Philo Taylor Farnsworth.
Yes, I'm a researcher.
Yeah.
And he is responsible for the modern television model we are using today. And lastly, cinema or films. Films are similar in terms of output with television shows, although normally films would be aired in a cinema using projected images using film reels in earlier periods of films. Film's images captured on film and projected screen.
Picture still long enough for us to look at it in between the changes. When the film is started and stopped in rapid succession, the eye sees the changes being made, and the result is streaks instead of movies. So we need a shutter to cut off the light while every change of picture is being made, and let light through only while the film is standing still. Surprising as it seems, you never see a motion picture while it is actually moving. The only time a movie moves is when the shutter keeps you from seeing the change of picture. then we see it just the way it looks in real life.
Rich user experience in new media. Students of today's generation are fortunate that they can access information quickly and easily because of the internet. New media relies solely to the World Wide Web for distribution. These includes mobile applications and video streaming sites that are offered on demand. Web pages, aside from being considered as the information highway, the Internet is also called the worldwide communication network of computers. The web is the most widely used service on the Internet. It consists of many web pages joined by hyperlinks. Hypertext, information arranged in a computer database, can be accessed through HTML, or hypertext markup language, which allows users to gather information from one document or web page to another, using links in highlighted keywords or buttons. Email. Through an email or electronic message, a user can send information to other people in any part of the world. Through the Internet, messages will be transmitted as packets of data being decoded by browsers for end users. Emails was first introduced in the early 70s. Instant messaging. Through IMS, a user can interact with another user through real-time chats. Yahoo Messenger before first introduced the idea of chatting through the Internet. Now Facebook and Google Hangouts have features that are capable of sending images, texts, emoji, videos and graphics which were not available before. E-book. An e-book refers to a digital or electronic version of a printed book, which can be accessed with the use of a computer of a gadget. Kindle is a good example of a handheld device whose feature allows a user to read books and connect to the Internet. Distance education. Students can now study online in any part of the world. Students will receive materials from their facilitator or instructor through email or from a portal where the students needs to sign up an account. Once the proposed account is activated, lessons in the virtual classroom can now be accessed. And that's the end of our fourth lesson in MIL. See you again next meeting.